Overpass 2 has gotten some crazy changes with this visual overhaul and a slight rework, and I'd actually like to go ahead and show you guys all of the cool things that got changed. So for the most part, Overpass is the exact same, apart from obviously graphically looking significantly better, and there's just so many changes to the game that just look very, very good, and graphically are just stunning. And as I go ahead and no-clip through here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the cool things that have actually changed. Apart from the graphics basically just getting remodeled, there is actually some gameplay changes as well. So if we actually come up here towards the long side of the map, which is by far I think the most stunning part of the map, you'll actually have noticed that there is no longer a way to easily jump on top of this here planter is what it used to be. Now it's like a generator thing. What they did was, since they made this jump harder, they actually added a little propane tank here so you can easily jump up here on your own, and I think that that's really cool. Another thing that they did was they actually added a window here in the corner of long, so if anybody would be in the corner, you could see them easily. The playground itself also got completely overhauled, and they removed the swing set that used to be here, and they also redid the slide, and I think it looks a lot better. They also got rid of this little thing that was here. I don't really know what it was, but it was like some wood that had some drawings on it. They replaced it here with this rock climbing wall, which is actually really cool because you can jump spot and actually surf to see long. Of course, they did change the dragon on the wall and made it look a little bit cooler. Here's one of the bigger changes to the actual map layout. They actually got rid of like this area here. So the stairs used to just come up right here, and this was all grass, but now they've actually carved it out a little bit and have given us a little bit more room to work with here on this right side. Now, this actually is really good because this is all a clean headshot angle now. I think it'll be easier for the CTs to take fights here because it's all headshot height. Although it does change the way that the Molotov that normally lands here lands. It does change a little bit, but we'll find new lineups, so I'm not worried. And in towards connector, they've actually made a few changes as well. So if we come down here, we'll notice that it graphically, it's just upgraded, but you can't get on top of this skid anymore, which is obviously not a good thing. That was a really nice angle for the connector players. And also, this pixel gap does still exist. However, it is really just a pixel now. You have to have the op to kind of see here, and you can't shoot through it anymore. In connector, they basically just put some things here in the corners, just to make it a little bit harder for you to stand in here. You actually have to jump up now, so, you know, could make sound on accident. I don't know. They also patched this area up here. You can no longer boost up here at all. For some reason, they clipped off the shelves as well, and I'm not really sure why they've done this, but you can no longer jump on top of this or get boosted up, which is actually, again, a shame because there was a lot of really cool setups that the pros were using where they would boost somebody up here to watch up top, but that's just not going to be possible anymore. In towards the, well, what used to be bathrooms, but I suppose which is now the subway station, we'll probably still call it bathrooms, let's be honest. These water fountains actually have collision now, which means you can stand on top of them, which could lead to some interesting angles and stuff like that. And obviously these are on both sides, so I'd like to see what we can come up with when it comes to those. Towards T-spawn, I've noticed that it's actually a lot more difficult to throw the Molotov that you would normally throw into short because there's no longer a pillar to line up with. And I've tried a couple of different lineups to try to throw this, and unfortunately it seems like none of them are really working. It's a lot more difficult because they also raise the gate. So we'll have to come up with some lineups on our own to come up with this short molly, but that's just a little bit of a gameplay change. I'm sure it just takes a little bit of tweaking, and well, there you go, we found it already. And towards monster, nothing really changed except for the monster pipe itself is actually a little bit smaller, and naturally the reason they did this, I think, was just to make it so that the smokes would cleanly fill it up. As you can see, that's exactly how much smoke volume comes out of these smokes now, so I think that this is an intentional change, and I do like it. And towards short, nothing really has changed aside from the water in short we have already covered on the channel. The only other thing I noticed is that you are no longer able to use this pixel walk to boost. It's been patched up, so that doesn't work anymore. Now, of course, we do have this self boost in towards sandbags now, which is pretty cool, but apart from that, you know, we do have this boost up to get to sandbags. We actually do have a couple of other cool things, so now you can actually jump on top of this self boost here and have a nice angle to hold pit, and with some of the angles that you get in the cracks of the sandbags, you actually have a couple of really strong angles, all things considered, to hold towards short. That one almost is, I would say, unfair, but of course, you know, you could do what you will. And there's also this really cheeky angle that you can hold in towards heaven from the sandbags as well. And the B-side itself has not really gotten any changes apart from a few, fixes. For example, you can no longer surf on the close wall here, which I think is actually good because no more rats here. They put this wooden plank. You can still surf on the other walls, but you can't surf up top, so no more having to check up here for anybody. Now, the grates themselves have actually been patched up as well. You can no longer walk on the pixel, and before you guys say, well, they fixed it because you could walk on the concretes, well, actually, in the most recent update, they actually took that away. It seems like like that was not an intentional change. You can actually walk up the concrete here. I think that Valve should probably reconsider this. I think that that was a really cool way to fix that. But now we have nothing, and the only thing we have here is this watery pit, which all things considered is cool because you can crouch deep and see in towards monster, but this is definitely not good. Valve, please re-add this. I think that was good. They added this generator, which is actually really good because you can plant behind it safely, and also it's a really nice headshot to graffiti, so we do like that. And of course, at B-site, they also added this railing. Now, this railing doesn't really have a purpose, I suppose. It's just a nice little off angle, but I did notice that you can actually jump spot towards short like this, which we knew, and you can also do a cheeky little boost to see in towards connector. This is what it would look like. Just a nice little off angle that they've added. Since everything has a different texture, some things don't work the same as they used to. For example, this lineup no longer works to spam in towards short. Of course, we can still do it, but we just can't use the lineup, so we'll have to find a new one. They patched up this window here so you can't see through it, so you can actually hide behind here now, which is actually pretty cool. Doors are open now, which means that you can actually hide behind the door here and actually have a nice off angle. You can wallbang through the thin part here on dice, but you actually can't wallbang through the thick part of dice, which I think is actually pretty smart. So you can still wallbang dice, but you just need to go through here. The last thing that they changed was they actually gave Truck a very clean model now, so you can jump up on here and there won't be any more weird collision, and I think that that's nice. And with the new model, of course, that means that we can't see through the windows here. However, we are able to actually shoot through the windows now, which is cool, but we just can't see anymore, which is definitely for the best. So that's pretty much everything that's been changed in terms of CS2 Overpass. So you guys can let me know what you guys think in the comments if this is a W or an L, but this is everything that I noticed has changed apart from obviously the graphics themselves. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys leave a like on the video and subscribe. I'm going to be posting up-to-date content on all CS2 content as it comes out, so make sure you guys hit the notification bell, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. See you guys soon.